Dear Stranger, this is a series consisting of interactions and observations I've had with strangers. These interactions and observations have been compiled into my notes app and journal. This compilation of readings comes from my everyday life. We all have impact on one another, even if we are just strangers. Enjoy. Dear fancy restaurant owner, I had applied to work at your restaurant early in the summer. I was really hoping to get some good summer hours in. I was really excited when you invited me in for an interview. The day I went in, it was surprisingly cold. The summer weather didn't have its full force yet. I entered the restaurant and I was surprised by how fancy it was compared to my old high school town. It looked so out of place. I felt really out of place. Per your employee's instructions, I waited at the bar for you. I kicked my feet and tried to scroll on my phone that had zero service. You were a little late, but I didn't mind. I understand that being a boss, you're a little busy. I was enjoying the restaurant atmosphere, regardless. When you did show up, we walked to the other side of the restaurant to a closed-off side with a decent-sized stage for performers. You told me about how you bought this building and all of the work that you went through to renovate it, how you hosted shows during the winter, and how much of a pride it was for you. You also mentioned how you wanted a high-quality American dining experience for your customers. You said that you wanted good burgers and sandwiches. Quote, "None of that quick stuff," end quote. You wanted the customers to want to sit down and enjoy their meal and when they dined at your restaurant. The interview went well, and you were impressed with my work experience and my recommendation letters from previous employers. You said that you wanted to hire me, and I accepted. We decided that I would go in next Wednesday and get started. You said that you would text me with more information. Well, it quickly came around to Monday, and I still had yet to hear back from you. I texted and emailed you if you still wanted me to work for you. I got no response back. You know, I've never been ghosted by an employer before. I would call that rather unprofessional. Dear manager at the local dollar store. To be honest, I tried to avoid the dollar store at pretty much all costs. Well, specifically the one in my hometown. The main reason being is that it threatened my previous employers at the local hometown market. With that being said, after meeting you, I will shop there to support you. When I went to the dollar store after searching high and low for those little strawberry candies with the liquid center, you could tell I was defeated. I was going on my first date after a while, and I knew that they liked them, so I wanted to be prepared. When I walked in, you could tell I was nervous. You asked me if you could help me with anything, and of course I said, no. I was in the store for a bit, rather embarrassing, scouring the shelves for snacks and candies, trying to find the strawberry ones, but up to no luck. You were in the process of refilling some shelves and in the candy aisle when you asked me what I was looking for. I mentioned the candies and your face lit up. It's as if all of the childhood memories came rushing back. You mentioned that they were some of your favorites. You helped me look around, but sadly they hadn't come in yet. You said that it was because the store was just being run by you and 2 other part-time workers. You talked to me about your late night hours and how you don't have as much stock in because you can't keep up with the rushing demand. You were so sweet and hardworking. I've had instances at that store where people were really rude to me, and you've instantly removed that stain. Congratulations on becoming the owner and manager of this store, and thank you so much for your help and fantastic conversation. Welcome to the town. Dear man who was walking his dog. Despite my best efforts to find a summer job, nothing really fit in with my prior commitments I had made. Those commitments being house sitting and pet sitting for my aunt and uncle. My aunt and uncle had me stay at their house, located in development, for a couple of weeks with their 2 dogs and cat. The 3 pets definitely missed their parents, but they were getting used to me being their stand-in for the time being. I fed them. One dog is rather large, and when he stands on his hind legs, he is as tall as me. He's also still very young, not even a year old at that point. For him, he was still learning with his owners, and then he got put with me. It was all rather confusing for him. I also didn't grow up with dogs or cats, so this was a whole situation we were learning together. All 4 of us. Overall, the pet sitting went well, aside from the very last night. It was around 9 o'clock at night and time for me to take the dogs out for their last bathroom break before morning. I had the dogs follow me to the back door, and I clipped the first dog into her leash. She sat there patiently. As I went to grab the other pup's leash, I noticed a cat was outside. It looked almost identical to the indoor cat I was supposed to be house sitting. Without even thinking, I opened the door and called out for the cat. This is where I get to meet you, man walking your dog. Well, the younger dog bolted out of the door, chasing after the cat. The other dog also ran after the cat too. She pulled so hard from the leash she caused me to drop it. I managed to get to the one with the leash first, and she responded when I called her name. She knew she was in trouble. The other dog did not. I looked over to the side of the road where you were walking your dog, and my family's dog was barking and jumping. I think I screeched as I ran to you. As a little side note, my mom is really into Judge Judy, so is my grandma. And I think in that instant, all of those episodes played through my mind as I grabbed the other dog by his collar. I profusely apologized to you and even your dog at one point. I was so distraught, I honestly don't know what you or your dog looked like. All I know is that your dog was way smaller than the other 2 I was trying to wrangle. I heard you mutter a few swears and ask me if I was house sitting. All I could get out was a quick yes and another "I'm sorry" as I dragged the 2 barking dogs back to my family's house. I really don't have much to say to you, but I'm sorry again. Dear lady with the screen addiction. My family and I went on a trip to Boston for the first time over the summer. It was my first time staying in a city. If you listened to previous episodes, you should know that my guilty pleasure is to people watch. When we arrived in Boston, we got put into a really fancy hotel. We even got a room on the 11th floor. Normally that would be a problem, because I really don't like heights, but it was amazing. It had a great view of the city, and it was perfect for me to watch the street and foot traffic. One night, my sister and I went back to the hotel for an early night in. When she was doing her skincare in the bathroom, I decided to look out the window. I looked over and spotted a few drunk couples as they stumbled down the paths and some lost tourists, but nothing too out of the ordinary. I looked across and up at the beautiful buildings that towered above us, and that's when I spotted you. You lay in a comfy chair with your legs up on the coffee table. You were scrolling on an iPad as a cat curled up on your lap. What amused me was that when you put down your iPad, you checked your phone. And even when you put down your phone, you opened your laptop. And you did this a couple times. It seemed like you couldn't handle not having a device in your hand. I thought that was really funny. When my sister came out, she asked me what I was doing. I just said that I was looking out the window, enjoying the starless sky. I felt bad for intruding on your cozy night. Regardless, seeing you made me feel really excited for the future. You seemed so at peace, comfortable, just enjoying your night in. After seeing you, I cannot wait to have nights just like yours. This has been Dear Stranger. Thank you for listening.